That's a little boy. Do you know how to read the words on the front page? Look, I am 10, silly boy. You're being silly. Look.
What's that?
His name is Christian. I am 10. Look. Christian is a 6-year-old boy with a lot of questions. He wants to know about everything. One morning before going to school, Christian asked his daddy a question he had been thinking about for a while. Look at that.
What's that?
What color am I? A boy at school told me that I am black because you are black. His daddy thought for a moment and then he said, there are a lot of people who will call you black just because I am black. But if you don't feel like this fits you, then don't accept this label. You are only half black. You are also half white, which makes you mixed. Think about what color fits you best. And that is the color that you tell people when they ask about your race. Wiggly baby. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Is that a young boy talking with his papa?
No.
Yes, it is, silly.
That's the two.
No, that is Mr. Barack Obama.
What's Barack Obama?
Yeah,
What's Barack Obama?
Barack Obama.
What's
Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Mother New Moon Children's Book Reviews here on IGTV. This week I'm bringing to you a book by an indie author who I just happened to come across on Amazon. A lot of great books on Amazon, a lot of indie authors are on Amazon. Her name is Michelle Rose and she wrote a very special book titled I Am Tan. And you see right there on the cover, you have a little tan boy. This is a book for multiracial, mixed children. And it's about discovery, identity. And the reason why it's a very important book in our growing collection for our son is we are a multiracial family. Our son is multiracial, or mixed, what have you. And I wanted to have a book in his collection that had, a story that he could identify with. And why this was very important to me as a black mom to a multiracial son is because I've watched so many documentaries. I love watching documentaries. I've seen documentaries on men and women, they're adults now, but they talked about their tough childhoods growing up mixed, and how they were made to feel, whether it was by family, or friends, that they had to choose one race over the other. For example, say the child is both black and white, and he or she goes out into society and they're not black enough for the black kids, or they're not white enough for the white kids, so they don't know where to fit in. Then they go on this crazy life journey trying to figure out, who am I? Who do I identify with? Neither side thinks I'm cool enough. I don't fit in, And a lot of times this has led to severe mental illness within because they don't know how to identify, or they are made to feel like they have to choose one race over the other. So in our home, that was something that we discussed, my husband and I, and we just didn't want our son to ever, we just don't want our son to ever feel like he has to choose whether he wants to identify more with one race or the other. We are bringing him up to identify with all that he is. We call him our gumbo baby, He's black, he's Mexican, he's German. He is going to learn to embrace all of that, and have his esteem so high, and him being so firm in who he is. For God's sake, we named him Osiris. He's godly, but in a very humble way, to just know that you're not going to tell me who I should identify more with. So that's how we're raising our son. So now onto this awesome book. This is why when I saw this book on Amazon. I added to my cart with no hesitation. This was a part of the Christmas gift that we put together for our son, which involves a lot of awesome books that were on diversity, inclusion, different races of people, and accepting all that, you know, that is different and unique. So on the back, by the writer and illustrator, Michelle Rose. So by the writer and illustrator, Michelle Rose, on the back states, a multiracial boy named Christian spends an interesting day learning about race, color, and stereotypes. By the end of the day, he has learned to embrace all of who he is. So in the book, Christian he's 6 years old. And you know, they say that that age is really where a lot of times they start to question a whole lot about life. So right away you start, I like how this is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, I believe Christian is the author's son, but I'm not too sure, because it looks like this is an actual photo, this is an illustration of the child. So as you can see, this child is a mixed child. Okay. So the illustration is very simple. It's like they took Michelle Rose took actual photographs and, you know, did her thing with them. So, yep, Christian's a 6-year-old boy with a lot of questions. He wants to know everything. And then here you'll see illustrations of conversations with his father, who is black. He's a black man. Also, what's cool is they have President Barack Obama in here, who is also of mixed race. So it's kind of cool. It's like you're giving, like, here, you know, you can one day be president, you know what I'm saying? But it's just cool. You just see him on a journey, traveling. This conversation is being had with his father. The father's black, the mother's white, and the child is just like, what color am I? You know, I was at school one day, and since my friends saw you're my black daddy, they just said I was black. But, you know, what am I? What color am I? So children grow up and they don't really know, you know, about race. They learn about colors. You know, crazy story for me, I used to be in corporate America working in accounting for like 14 years. And I remember being at this one facility, and I was in accounting. Wherever I worked, I was pretty much always either the only black woman working there or one of two black people, and it would be like one out of, like, you know, Hispanic or Latino, we'd be the only two, and everyone else would be white. But there's one instance, I was on lunch in a lunchroom, and one of the coworkers, her husband and son, came to see her for lunch. And they live in a very small town here in Wisconsin. You know, in Wisconsin, in the cities, especially like Milwaukee, maybe Madison and things like, and Racine, there is a huge like black population, but I just tend to get a little bit further out, where it's a little bit more country. It tends to be more predominantly white, and they were from a very small country town. And the little boy, it was so cute and eye-opening. He looked at me and then he said, "Look, mommy, a brown person." He didn't say a black lady. He said, "Mommy, a brown person." I probably was the first brown person he had ever seen. And I remember just telling my mom and just telling so many people about that experience, because it just made me stop and think, like, where does this little guy live to where he couldn't believe that he was seeing a brown person. I was like this, whoa, who was this? You know, but it just goes to show how a lot of times, a lot of people aren't really exposed to what's outside of their community. They can be so detached. And then you have, you know, you mix races and mixed cultures, like me and my husband, and we have a mixed child. And it's like I stated, we want him to embrace all that he is, you know, and this is an awesome book. So get that journey started, to get the conversation started, because our son is of mixed race. And also, what's cool is that it's just more like different photos. I just saw one that I really love. There's a collage in there, and it's other like mixed race children, and they're continuing to have this conversation with Christian. You know, like one little boy says, "I'm mixed too, but I am Asian and black, like Tiger Woods." And now here's little girl was like, "I'm mixed too, but I'm Mexican and black." Another little girl, I'm mixed too. I'm white, black, and American Indian. And this little boy, you know, is Christian. And he said there are so many different mixes, white or black wouldn't work for everybody. Those are silly names anyway. We need something else. Or, yeah, no, I read that wrong. He says whack or blight. I'm not sure what that means. I have to reread the book again. Those are silly names. They wouldn't work for everybody. Just going to show that you can't just label every mixed person white and black. There's so many other different cultures and races out there. You know, even something I learned, like I follow, like I said, being a black mother to a mixed race son, I follow like mixed race children or, you know, mixed race family pages online, specifically Instagram. And, you know, to just be within the community of other parents from multiracial families. And I came across this one page, and there were so many, they were like all from Africa. And we forget about like just how huge of a country Africa is. And then like, it will be like 2 different tribes. The child, like mother is from this tribe, the dad is from this tribe, but then that child is considered mixed over in Africa. Like it's just, you learn so much. Like I'm just like, oh, that child's black. Both, no, but no, over there, like that would be totally incorrect. So it's like, you just learn so much. Like it's not just a black and white thing. Like I said, so many different other cultures and races out there, and the labels we have, you know, just learning. It's all about being open and learning and not making someone feel like they have to choose one or the other to rock with you, to be with you. Like let's stop doing that. That it leads to mental illness. You have children confused, they don't know who they are, how to identify. And also it starts at home. It starts at home. Educate your babies at home. So I just wanted to get a little deep there. But this is, if you are a multiracial family, mixed babies, mixed children, this is an awesome book to add to the collection. Or even, you know what, you might not be a multiracial family. Maybe you just want to have a diverse collection of books, and you want to talk to your child about, you know, other children who are different, and how to recognize and respect that. You know, this is just an awesome book to have in that collection. So I will be putting the link, well, it's on Amazon, but I'll be mentioning that in the description. So go on, get your copy, have that conversation in your home. It's an awesome book, very realistic illustrations. It's a little boy, Christian, 6 years old, on a journey to discover, who am I? You know? Awesome, but at the end, there's a photo of his family. It's pretty awesome. I love this book. I love it. And you know, our son, he's 2, so I know he won't fully understand everything right now, but this book, we own it. So we will continue to just bring it out from time to time, have conversations. Oh, look at this in here. They have a statistic report. They talk about the Census Bureau and just being a minority and what that means in America. They break it down by age range. Oh yeah, so this book not only just talks about race, but it talks about stereotypes as well. Awesome, awesome, serious, but it's broken down to the basics book. So thank you for tuning in to episode 8 of Mother New Moon Children's Book Reviews here on IGTV. I will be back every week with a new video. Have a great day. Have an awesome weekend. And teach your babies. Let's talk about diversity. Let's talk about inclusion. It starts young. Bye.